Before we step through an active measurement with GeoSeeker, let's have a quick look at the package contents. Apart from the power cable drums, everything fits into a robust Paley case. Right after opening the case, you see 4 electrodes attached to the upper shell, 2 power electrodes and 2 voltage electrodes. Even if you watch this video, please read the user's manual. There are much more important information concerning the usage of GeoSeeker. By default, the GeoSeeker comes with a pre-configured Android tablet PC, if not otherwise ordered. You will get the tablet PC along with a proper charger and USB cable. There are 2 short extension cables that are used to connect the power electrodes with the power cable drums. One centerpiece of GeoSeeker is the controller, which is used, as the name already implies, to control all data transfer as well as the measurement process. There are 2 small voltage cable drums attached to it. The controller is powered by 8 AA batteries. If you are using rechargeable batteries, you may use this charger to recharge the batteries within the controller. By using the tablet PC holder, you are able to mount your tablet PC directly on top of the controller. The USB power pack comes with a charger and is used to supply your tablet PC with additional power, especially during long-lasting measurements. This charger is used to recharge the built-in battery of the Paley case, or, as we call it, the power box. More information about charging your equipment we will explain in the next chapter of this video. The travel adapter can be used as an interface for international power sockets, so you can charge your equipment worldwide, no matter where you are. Before charging the power box, please make sure to switch it off. If it is switched on, it will not charge at all. The charging process starts as soon as you connect the charger to the power box. If the charge LED shines green, it is fully charged. Before using the controller, you have to place batteries inside. So remove the battery compartment and insert the batteries. Please pay attention to the right polarity. By default, rechargeable batteries are included. For recharging, simply connect the charger to the controller. As long as the charger is connected, the charging process is active, no matter if the controller is switched on or off. But to see the charge progress, your controller must be switched on. If the LED shines green, it is fully charged. The tablet PC can be recharged by using its own charger. For long-lasting measurements with GeoSeeker, you may connect the tablet PC to the USB power pack to extend its operating time. Don't forget to switch on the power pack. For additional information about charging your equipment, please read the user's manual. To establish a Wi-Fi connection with your GeoSeeker, please make sure your controller is switched on and the power LED shines green. Then power on your tablet PC and locate settings in your applications listing. Depending on your type of tablet PC, this may vary. After selecting settings, you have to switch on your Wi-Fi option. Then your tablet PC will search for available networks and will list them. Very soon, a network called OKM GeoSeeker should be visible. Now tap the GeoSeeker network listing to initiate the connection. Therefore you have to enter a password, which is GeoSeeker. Pay attention that only letters G and S are capital letters. Be careful to not mistype the password. You may mark this checkbox to review your typed-in password in human-readable form. Finally, you have to push the Connect button to establish the Wi-Fi connection between your tablet PC and controller. In the list of available networks, you find the current connection status, which should be connected now. Then go back to your applications listing and start the GeoSeeker application. After starting your application, you see the main menu. Tap on the New Measurement button. Now you have to enter a meaningful project title. By this name, you will easily find the measurement later on from your list of recorded files. In our example, we just type Demo. Push Next to continue. Now you have to select a scan mode. Please read the user's manual to learn about the differences between all available scan modes. In our example, we are using the Accurate Active Scan, which is the most rigorous scan mode. Push Next to continue. This time you have to select the scan profile. Again, in the user's manual you will find more detailed information regarding all these options. In our example, we select Complete Measurement to scan a rectangular area. Push Next to continue. Here you have to select a start depth as well as an end depth. This tells the GeoSeeker in which depth it should start and in which depth it should stop the measurement. In our example, we will measure from 5 meters to 15 meters. Push Next to continue. In the last step, you have to enter information about the dimensions of the scan area. So you must enter a resolution, which is the distance between two single scanning points, as well as the length and the width of your scan field. These kind of information are very important to define the total number of scan passes during the measurement. But before starting the actual measurement, let's have a more detailed look at the preparation of the scan area. Before performing the measurement, we are going to place markers for each scan point to simplify the later measurement. Place the first scan point marker on the right bottom corner of your scan area. As you remember, we selected a resolution of 2 meters, so we have to place our second scan point marker 2 meters behind the first one. You should use a measuring tape to determine the right distance. We repeat the same procedure for the third scan point marker. So now you reach the final field length of 4 meters, which is what we have entered into the new scan dialog before. In the same way, you have to place all other scan point markers for the rest of the scan area. Now all of the scan point markers have a distance of 2 meters to its direct neighbors. After preparing the scan area with scan point markers, you can now start the measurement by tapping on the Start Measurement button. The main measurement screen will appear. It offers all important information about the scan process. Let's have a closer look at the controls. Here on the left top corner you see the status of the wireless connection to the controller and the power box. If the indication is green, everything is alright and the connection is established. Right beneath that you can find the display of the measurement results. Right now there are no values because we have not measured anything so far. In the right top corner you see the progress of the current measurement. Right now there are none of the 27 scanning passes completed. Right beneath that you find the Continue button, which is used to start the next scanning pass. But before you push this button, you have to set up your equipment and the electrodes. All important information about setting up the upcoming scanning pass you will find at the bottom of the screen. There you find the positions and distances at which you have to place your equipment during a measurement. The power electrodes are represented by the letter A. Those electrodes must now be placed at the cable marker position 1. This means the power cable drum must be unrolled up to 5 meters to reach the first cable marker. The voltage electrodes are represented by the letter B. Those electrodes must now be placed at the cable marker position 1. But the voltage cable drums must be unrolled completely. Let's now apply these settings to our scan area. First, you are going to place the power box and both power cable drums directly next to the first scan point marker. Then you are connecting the right power cable drum to the power box and unroll it until the first cable marker appears. Take one power electrode and put it directly next to the cable marker into the ground. You may use a hammer to get it in there. Finally, you need to connect the electrode to the cable drum by using one of the short extension cables. Now you have the following situation, so you must repeat the whole process for the left side again. Unroll the power cable drum to the first cable marker, put the electrode into the ground, and connect the electrode to the power cable drum by using the second extension cable. This is the current situation. You have set up the power line, which is responsible to inject electrical current into the underground. Now we are going to set up the voltage line to measure the underground voltage. Therefore, you have to place the controller in front of the power box. Now unroll the right voltage cable drum completely. This is necessary because the cable marker number 1 is on the inner end of the cable. If the cable is completely unrolled, come back to the cable marker number 1, grab the first voltage electrode and put it directly next to the cable marker into the underground. If necessary, use a hammer and connect the cable to the electrode. So now the current situation looks like this, and you have to repeat the whole process with the other side. Again, unroll the complete voltage cable drum and come back to the cable marker number 1. Then put the second voltage electrode into the ground and connect it with the cable. Now we have a situation like this. Please make sure that controller and power box are switched on. Pop up the antennas for a better connectivity and get ready to start the first scan pass. After tapping the Continue button, the GeoSeeker initiates a short test to check if the measurement can be processed successfully. If so, it starts measuring. After measuring the first scan point in a depth of 5 meters, you see the results on screen. Now you have to adjust the electrodes according to the updated information on your screen again. As you can read, you must increase the distance of the power electrodes, indicated by letter A. You have to move the electrodes to cable marker 2. After moving the electrodes, push the Continue button to start another test and measuring process at 10 meters depth. Now you notice that you have to move the power electrodes to cable marker 3, which you will find after unrolling the power cable drum 15 meters in total. So let's replace the electrodes to cable marker 3 now. Push the Continue button again to start another test and measuring process at 15 meters depth. Now you've finished measuring the first scan point, and you have to move all electrodes together with your equipment to the next scan point. Push the Continue button to measure scan point 2 in a depth of 15 meters. Move the power electrodes inwards to cable marker 2. Push the Continue button to measure scan point 2 in a depth of 10 meters. Move the power electrodes inwards to cable marker 1. Push the Continue button to measure scan point 2 in a depth of 5 meters. As indicated on screen, you now have to move everything to the next, the third scan point. You may realize that the whole procedure is repeated over and over again, until the complete scan field has been processed. So let's move your equipment to the next scan point. As soon as everything is in place, push the Continue button to start another scanning pass. Again, you have to move the power electrodes outwards to cable marker 2. After starting the measurement by pushing the Continue button, you have to move the power electrodes to cable marker 3. After preparing the next scan, push the Continue button. But this time GeoSeeker will only do a check, but no measuring. So what happened? Let's have a look at the screen instructions. You see that you should move the voltage electrodes, indicated by letter B, to cable marker 7. This could happen because the measured voltage between the electrodes is too inaccurate, and by changing its distance, the reading can be optimized. So let's move the voltage electrodes to cable marker 7. Now try to start the measurement again by tapping Continue. This time the process of measurement was fine and you can move all electrodes to the next scan point. Push Continue to start a new scanning pass. As you will notice, you have to decrease the distance of the power electrodes by placing it to cable marker 2. Every time you are changing the distance between the power electrodes, you are also changing the current measurement depth. So while increasing the distance, you are also increasing the depth, and vice versa. So by decreasing the distance of the power electrodes, you are reducing the depth now. The current scan depth is indicated by letter D. Right now, you are going to scan in a depth of 10 meters. Push Continue to start a new scanning pass. Again, you must reduce the distance of the power electrodes to measure now in a depth of 5 meters. Push Continue to start a new scanning pass. Also this time, you noticed that there was only a check but no measuring. But this time you should reduce the distance of the voltage electrodes and move it back to cable marker 2, as indicated by letter B. After testing the electrodes configuration, GeoSeeker determined that you must readjust the voltage electrodes to measure more accurate values. So let's replace the voltage electrodes as indicated. Then push continue to try again. This time everything went well and you can move all electrodes to the next scan point. Push the continue button again and wait for the completion of the scanning path. As indicated, move the power electrodes to cable marker 2 and start a new scanning path. Again you have to change the distance of your power electrodes and move it to cable marker 3. Continue your measurement. And obviously there are some more adjustments necessary. You need to increase the distance of the voltage electrodes once more. Move it to cable marker 7 as indicated by letter B. So replace the voltage electrodes and try again. This time the process was finished successfully and you can move all electrodes to the next scan point. Push continue to start a new scanning path. Readjust your electrodes for the next scanning path as indicated and push the continue button once more. You can easily see that you must replace your voltage electrodes one more time. Now to cable marker 4. So let's do it. Push continue to start a new scanning path. Now the measuring process succeeded and you need to move the power electrodes to cable marker 1. Continue scanning by pushing the button. Once more you have to adjust the voltage electrodes by moving it to cable marker 2. Continue scanning by pushing the button. This time measuring went well and you can move all electrodes to the next scan point. Let's speed up a little bit and watch the next scanning passes. Well, there's just another problem that occurred during our measurement. If this message appears, please check all cable connections and make sure the electrodes have good contact to the ground. Most probably there's just a loose cable that needs to be plugged in correctly. Please tap on cancel to be able to repeat the whole process, including a new check. If you tap on continue anyway, the device starts measuring immediately, without testing again. So click on cancel, check your cables and connections, and repeat the scanning path by pushing the continue button. Now let's watch the rest of the measurement. After all scan points are measured completely, you will get a success message. Finally, the Continue button has turned into a View button. Push the button to create the resulting image of your measurement. Depending on the amount of scan points, it may take a while until the final image appears on screen. On the left side, you find several buttons to change the orientation of your image. There are Front View, Side View, Top View, and Perspective View. Furthermore, you can freely rotate the image by moving your finger over the screen. On top of the screen, you can change color's transparency. Let's say you want to add more bluish color to your image. To do so, simply use this button to make bluish colors less transparent. In the same way, you may add more reddish color. Adjusting the colors helps to highlight the most outstanding values. So in our example, you see that the first scan point is colored in blue, which indicates a good conductivity, and that could also mean to be a place of potential water. You already learned that blue color stands for a good conductivity, which is typical for water resources. The opposite color is red and stands for a high resistivity, which is typical for cavities. The darker the color, the higher the probability of a resource. Always keep in mind to consider as many indications as possible before making decisions about your final result. Also consider environmental conditions as well as geological formations. The more scan points you have in your measurement, the more accurate your final image will be. Please read the user's manual for more examples and further explanations. For additional help with your GeoSeeker, you may contact your local dealer or OKM directly.